Hi YouTube family. It's been a little bit, not too long, but it's been a little bit. And that means that I've been going through something. And it will be also easy for me to just be like, take another long hiatus and, dip out for a while I go through it and come out when I feel better. But, I'm trying to do this thing where I actually, I'm trying to do this thing where I actually commit to myself and show up. My therapist said I have a gypsy spirit, y'all. I leave when things feel uncomfortable. I will dip because I don't have to sit here and deal with that, And I just but I owe it to myself to stay and to try, to fight, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. She kind of messed up my little desk area because I was using her bed, and now she's standing up here playing. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so, ma'am, you're shaking my camera. You're shaking my camera. I know I'm in your space, but I'm in your space because you want me here. So can you give me some privacy? You're going to give me the remote. Okay. I'm in control of my own reality, okay? I feel like that's what she's trying to say, okay? No, but seriously, I've been going through something. And I don't know why I'm thinking about, because didn't Kendrick Lamar say that in one of his songs? On, I think it's the Big Steppers or something like that. And he'd be like, I've been going through something. I don't know. Lotus. So anyways, right? No. We're going to do this one on the go. This is very chaotic. I don't like it. Oh, that's kind of nice. Wait. I'm finding it. Okay. So this is pretty nice. I wonder if I just I don't like that as much, but it'll work for purposes that I need it for. Okay, so anyways, emotions have been emotioning, and I'm just gonna say this is all just leading me back to self, right? Everything is always just leading us back to self, but this breakthrough has just been really different. And spring is upon us, okay? Happy New Year, y'all. Happy spring equinox, okay? It's a couple of days. Well, no, it was yesterday because today's Saturday. The day's just been going real fast. Okay, so I'm sorry, words are really hard. Let me just I feel like that is significant. Taking a second to slow down, to pause when needed, not feeling like you have to rush. This has really been a season of coming back into my body, right? And with that being said, it's been, I don't want to say uncomfortable, because I'm comfortable with myself, but there are parts of myself that are not comfortable with myself or haven't been. It's like I'm finally in heart and mind coherence. Does that make sense? It's like my mind and my heart are finally in agreement. My inner child and inner teenager are working together. My light and my dark. And I will just say I had a very big thing with my shadow self over the weekend, and it was rough. And before the new moon, because we had a lot of stuff going on. And so I cried for 3 days, y'all. I had my cycle last week, not to be like TMI, but whatever, we're just talking. Okay, so I had my cycle last week, and I'm already super emotional, but that just makes things even more emotional, And then at the end of it, you would think I would have been out of the clear. No, wrong. That's when I started crying. From Sunday to Tuesday, I cried every single day. And I might have even cried Saturday night. But I cried every single day for 3 days straight. And I cry almost every day anyway. But I mean, not like this. when I say I cried, like, it was so much stuff that was stored up. It was like I cried a cry I ain't never cried before. Which leads me to a conversation that I was having with my aunt, and she was like, she felt like I had been like bottling up stuff, and I'm like, I don't bottle up stuff. I be like letting out my emotions. I'm transparent, I'm open. And she's like, no, but like you've been through a lot, and I think you might let out a little bit. Like when you can, you be like, okay, I can afford to feel this, and then you'll cry about it, you'll let it out, but you never really like let everything out. And I wanted to be offended so bad, and like ego was like, I don't do that. But then it was like, okay, maybe I do that, because especially as a single mom and going to school and trying to operate a business and, you know, be a creative and stuff like that, I just be feeling like I don't be having time to feel like that, you know. And this could resonate for somebody out there. And so it was just a lot. But I cried and I felt better, and she called it out to me, which is basically just to say, like, I already felt like I started going through an awakening in like 2022, but recently at the end of 2025 I started going through another one. And I met somebody, and he's my best friend at this point, but he was like a really big catalyst for that. And I was really mad at him in January this year, because it was just like, wait a minute, if you're showing up like this, that means that everything in my reality has been a lie up until this point, right? So it's just like, I was mad at him. And when I got mad, the same thing happened. I cried for 3 days, and it was over a weekend as well. But my inner teenager was mad at him because I saw her like raging around her room. And but she was mad because it's like, you being here defies all logic. You being part of my life, you showing up in this way, defies everything that I've ever experienced. Like, what do you mean I'm worthy of like respect and like reciprocity? What do you mean that I don't have to do too much to be able to receive love and compassion and like grace? Like, what do you mean it's people who will just really love you for you, you know? Like, and so my inner teenager was like mad because like, how dare you come in here and shake my world up? How dare you come in here and wake me up? And it's like, I was comfortable living in the illusion that I was living in, and now you just done went and did that, and you done shook my whole world up, and now I'm mad. But like, she was mad because she was sad, because, you know, teenagers, they be rebellious. They don't try to, but they just, you know, teenagers be finding themselves and stuff like that. So it just like, you know, they gotta defy all logic. And so it was just like, I was really mad at him though, because why? And it was a really tough pill to swallow, and I was working through it in therapy, and then I figured it out, and everything was fine for a little bit, right? Or you would think everything is fine until this last week when I had that experience, and I was crying for 3 days, and I was like, I wasn't mad at him though. I was mad at myself. Myself was swinging on myself. And I was like, whoa. Okay, if we want to be mad at somebody, like, it was cool when we was mad at him because, you know, but like, why are we swinging on ourselves? What are we doing here? And I realized it was because I was scared. Mind y'all, I've been doing these body scans and stuff like that. I brought that up in a haunted house video before this one. I'm gonna have to tell you about the body scans. I'm not even talking. What? Hold on a second. Okay, so anyways, like I was saying. So, like I was saying. You're mad cute, girl. Yeah, I was like, why are we swinging on ourselves? Why would we do that? And, oh, the body scans. I haven't got to tell y'all fully about the body scans yet. Yes, you're my baby. You're my baby. Yes, baby. You go get it. Don't tell me to go get it. Okay. So the body scans. So I'm gonna have to do a whole separate video on that, because I'm not even starting. This ain't even what I thought I was gonna be talking about. I was gonna start somewhere else, but apparently we're starting from the beginning. Okay. So I have been doing those, and basically when I said my mind and heart are finally in the same space, right? Like in agreement. I got my whole body on track by doing this body scan. So what I realized is my aunt, like, I called her and I was crying because I just felt like a failure. I felt like a failure of a mother, a failure as a student in school, a failure as somebody trying to operate a business, a failure as a creative, as a human being in general. I just felt like I was failing at life. I don't want to do it no more. And she was like, it sounds like very negative thoughts. You know, you need to tell that evil being to go to sleep. And when she said evil, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought of evil twin. She got me over here pressing all kinds of buttons and I don't know what's going on. Anyways, when she said evil, I thought of evil twin, right? And I was like, oh, my shadow self. Which made me flick on the lights, right? Because when you're in the dark, you can't see what? Shadows. You see shadows in the lights. But when you're in the dark, you can't see them. Exactly. Somebody write that down. Okay. So in my darkness, while I was spiraling, going through all these emotions, grieving like past experiences and who I was as a person before, and when I had a sense of what I felt like was freedom at that time, and now feeling confined and just closed in, and like I'm just not doing good at life because I'm not, you know, in that same kind of space. Thank you, baby. It's beautiful. Do I look pretty? She's proud of herself. Y'all better clap. Yeah, good job. And so while I was grieving, I was in that darkness though, right? And so in that space, I couldn't see the shadows. And then I kept saying, like, yeah, I'm talking to myself. Like, I'm hearing my own voice in my head. So it's like, it's me telling myself these things. But like, it wasn't me, because it started feeling like projections, because it started being really mean. And at first I thought it was my inner teenager, because I'm like, well, she's rebellious and stuff like that, so it must be her. But I was like, wait, because when I started the year, I said my inner child and inner teen were going to lead the way. So it was like, but my inner teen is rebellious in a sense of like, my inner teen is gonna do something because you said she can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Here, you wear it. My inner teen is gonna do something because you said she couldn't do it. Beautiful. And so I'm like, wait, inner teen wants to win. So who is this? And that's when I realized, when I said, I feel like my best friend had woke me up from my slumber. So when my aunt kept saying you need to put her to sleep, I'm like, wait, if I just woke up from my slumber, who was driving the boat? If I just woke up, there's confirmation honks going on outside. If I just woke up, truly, who was operating this vessel? Who's been driving me around? Who's been controlling me? If I just got up from my slumber. So I was like, oh, evil twin. That's who. So then you got lifted up higher, baby, like this. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Do you want to get yours so you can match with mommy? I think you should match with mommy. I mean, you should probably get the other one because that one's not like very good, but can you get that one? Get that one over there so we can match, please. No? Okay, I'll just wear this one. So anyways, yeah, evil twin. So that's when I flicked the lights on internally and I saw my shadow self clearly. Only my shadow is like, if I had to describe this, the energy of it is like the shadow is built up of like projections of other people. So when I said it was me, but it wasn't me, my shadow is like a collection of voices and projections that other people have said, you know, like, oh, you're too much, or you're not enough, or you're too sensitive, or you're too emotional, you're never gonna be able to do that, you know, stuff like that. Things like that don't happen for people like us and stuff like that. She's having a day. Thank you for being patient with me if you're still here. So what I was saying was, I forgot. Was talking about evil twin basically, and it was just like, okay, so then why are we swinging on ourselves? And so this floor is creaky. But yeah, so it's like, why are we swinging on ourselves? And then I had realized when I turned the lights on that my shadow self was the culprit, and she was standing behind inner teenager, and she was standing behind everybody else because she was like hiding behind them, so I couldn't see the shadow clearly. And I'm over here like, well, maybe it's my inner teen, or maybe it's this person or that person, and but it was her. And then I was just like, okay, so you're throwing a fit because if I'm awake and I want to be in control now, and I want to live from a space of faith, because it was like when we were mad at him, it was like, yeah, okay, you know, she's aware, but she don't fully believe yet, you know, like she like, oh, this is a thing, but she doesn't believe in herself yet, so we still have control. But then I've been actually actively taking steps and seeing in my reality like, oh, this is real. Like I can actually achieve these dreams and goals and these things that I want to accomplish, and I'm actually worthy and capable of, you know, love, compassion, grace, etc. from others. And it's just like, oh, she's actually starting to believe it, which means she's going to start operating from that version of herself. She is going to be in control, which means that I'm not going to be able to drive anymore. Exactly. So when I found the culprit, it was like, okay, you're kind of being a jerk right now. My aunt said we're going to call her Sassy instead of Sissy, because that's my nickname is Sissy. But we're calling her Sassy. That's my evil twin. That's my inner demon, shadow self, whatever. Anyways, instead of you just saying you're scared like everybody else, because inner teenager is scared, inner child is scared, light, dark, everybody's scared, but we're doing it anyway. I always say I feel the fear and I do it anyway. So instead of you just saying you're scared and getting on page with everybody else, you're throwing a tantrum and you're gonna make us crash. We all live here. You live here too. Why are you trying to make us crash out? Like, why are you trying to make us spin out if you live here too? Everybody was getting on the same page. And because everybody was getting on the same page, that meant, again, she was going to have to take a back seat. Yes, baby. Come here. That meant she was going to have to take a back seat. And she didn't want to do that. So she was upset that she had to give up control. But since I figured out she was the culprit, now obviously I am in control of my own life, and we feel the fear and we do it anyway, right? So we are walking by faith and not by sight and things like that. And so that was the revelation that I had on Tuesday. It's Saturday, mind you. The next day I got up and I started like cleaning up and stuff, and I like washed my covers and stuff, and I didn't even realize we had a new moon in Pisces that was coming up. Yes, but then also spring equinox on Friday. So, and I started like journaling, and I just started putting into action some things that I have been wanting to do, but I have been kind of stalling because perfectionism. It's like, well, I don't want to start this because I don't want it to be messed up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I do stuff like that, and I know that sounds bad. It's my truth though. That's my truth. And that's what I'm working on. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just have to start. It doesn't have to, I don't have to worry about the big picture. I don't need to know how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen. I just need to take each step because the path is already formed, but I'm not going to see it until I just start walking, and then it's going to be illuminated. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that like resonates on anybody else, but that's kind of what's been going on for me and my processing and things. And so yeah, that's kind of just like what I've been going through. And like that's really why I've been away for so long, and that's just like January up until now. But I really connected with this it really started in like October up until like this point. So yeah, but going into the spring is just so crazy because now it's a whole new season. We are not living from that space of of past experiences, because you know if you start thinking about like past experiences and stuff that happen, like sometimes your body can't differentiate that you're not there anymore, and you will start like spiraling and living like you are in that place and space and time, even though you're not, just because you're thinking on it or you're dwelling on it. So it's like, it's okay to feel the feelings, which I was feeling them, and I was like grieving the past life that I had, but it was like, it was okay to feel them, but not like dwell on them or try to make too much meaning out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel the feelings for what it was, but don't internalize it and turn it into something else. And like I said, with my shadow self, it was definitely a lot of projections, because I feel like I was such at a high place in North Carolina. Like, I had my own everything, and then I felt like I fell from grace. And it wasn't that I fell from grace, it was really like being broken down to be rebuilt back up, because I still wasn't like my full authentic self, or I didn't know what I know now. It's like I needed to know this, so moving forward, I know the reason why I move the way that I move and do the things that I do, and I move with purpose now. I move with intention. So being in this space of really slowing down and things like that is really just bringing me back to self, which goes back to, I know, I'm sorry if this feels like all around. It's 555 on a time. But the point is, I'm in a space of integration, embodiment, groundedness. And so in this season, we have to slow down. And when I say we, you and me, but I'm talking about me and like the 32 different versions of me that live inside of me, okay? Because you know, you're different parts of yourself at different times in your life. You know, you have to forgive who you had to be in order to survive. It's like, I don't know why this is given, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach a man a fish, he eats for life or something. I don't even know if that's how it goes. I don't even know how I got the fish. She keep giving me the watermelon. Which melons make me think of like fertility and stuff. You're welcome, baby. And like gardening, and it's spring, y'all, so it's like all the pretty flowers and stuff are about to start blossoming, and it's just beautiful things. And with talking about grounding and gardening and spring and like the new season and things like that, be fruitful and multiply has been coming up a lot. But also, I am working on getting back into my relationship with the divine mother, because you know, like when we talk about God is an energy, so it's like masculine and feminine energy, but we focus so much on the masculine energy. And I realized for me that I have been so connected to the masculine energy because I was living from a space of survival. In that masculine energy, we seek like stability, we seek protection and things like that, structure. And so that's why, like, really when I would talk to God, I would hear them in more like a masculine kind of voice. But lately I've been feeling really called to the feminine, you know, to divine mother. And since we're talking about grounding, specifically the elements of like earth and water, and I'll probably go into deeper detail in another message, because this is not actually what I expected to talk about. I brought my notebook and everything too, because I'm specifically starting this journal to connect with the divine mother, and not because I'm neglecting the divine, the father, but because I have a very strong connection with my masculine energy. Even though I'm feminine, I have had to be in a masculine energy my whole life. So I've had to take action. I've had to learn how to protect and provide for myself and stuff like that. So I have a really strong connection with the masculine. I lived my life in survival mode. And so now coming into a space where I'm actually living, girl, please, coming into a space where I'm actually living and not just surviving, that hits different. And the mother is like nurturing, and she provides, but in a different way. The mother is abundant, because think about the earth and the way that it provides for you. Think about like mothers, how they breastfeed and stuff, and they provide in that kind of way, how they nourish you, how they nurture you. And so I'm really stepping into the season of just groundedness and being open to receive. I spend a lot of time in my head. I'm very connected to the divine, right? So I spend a lot of time in my head, and I can be very flighty sometimes. And moving into the season, since I'm becoming more grounded, I have to remember that I'm here to bridge the gap between the two. So I can't just be in the cosmos, you know, as above, so below. And so right now I'm really integrating and working on embodiment and things like that. And that is what tapping back into the mother is allowing me to do, and be open to receive and form community and things like that. Because I did say like a few weeks ago. Like, I feel like I've learned everything that I can learn on my own. And that's not to say that I'm not, like I'm a student for life and I can always like learn things on my own, but I'm saying like I've learned everything I can learn on my own. So more like it's time to experience community, and things like that, and connection with others, because that is, you know, kind of where things come into play. So we will really be talking more about tapping into this mother, this feminine energy, this earth energy, this water energy. So many beautiful things have been coming up lately. But like I said, I've been going through it, y'all. I was crashing out, and it would have been so easy for me to be like, forget this, I'm gonna go do some more character development work. But like, why? And that's not to say like healing is lifelong and learning is lifelong and things like that. So it's not to say like I'm perfect, but it's to say like I think it's time for us to go play. I think you're being a little too hard on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you are doing a little bit too much, in a sense of like everything is not like homework. Like, everything is not work. I'll be so much work and no play. And so I just been really working on things to get back to that, get back to my inner child, get back to the energy of joy and peace and pleasure, and stuff like that. So I really, can I share the first one? Because I was really excited, because this is the first day I found this notebook I haven't wrote in yet, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so perfect because it has like earth things and stuff like that. I could share the first one, but not the second one. Okay, she said I could share the first one. So I want to share the first thing that I wrote, because this is my first like journal entry of like connecting with the Divine Mother. And I don't know, this could resonate for somebody. So stay if you feel called. Otherwise, go ahead and scroll along. You know, I don't even know what I'm going to title this video or descript this video as, because again, this is not what I was expecting. But here we are. Okay, so this is a message from the Divine Mother, Mother Earth, Gaia, whatever you resonate with, whatever. Okay, so it says, sweet girl, you have trouble trying to connect because of your resistance. It's not your fault. It's your traumas from this lifetime and past ones, as well as ancestral ones. You have surely lived many lives in this one and faced more than your fair share. And that's why it's time to come home to your true frequency. You have always sought the support of the Father because you had to live in survival so long. I said that. You needed stability and protection so you could finally feel safe enough to live, to exist, and to be. To receive. You have done so much for others with nothing to show for it. And though that is not what you do it for, it is only right that you receive what you put out, because that is the way of the universe. Sweet girl, you deserve to be loved and held to. You deserve comfort and care. Lean into me. You are safe here. Let me nurture and provide for you. Let me intervene on your behalf. Feel me in your body. Feel me in the world around you. That is where I live. Just as you have angels above, so do you have them below. Guides, ancestors, elemental forces, earth angels. Let us assist you here in this physical, because we need you here to bridge the gap. Allow us to hold you, sweet girl. You are safe now. Open your heart fully to receive and trust what you feel. And then I'll be writing these little notes like after that just be coming. And this one says, lean into the mechanics of the creation, not the creator. And what has brought that up is because I was listening to this song by Shakana Healing LLC, I think it is. She is on like TikTok and YouTube, but I haven't found her presence like more recent. But in the beginning of, I think like Dove Love, they're having a conversation and a guy says something like, you know, I feel like you're really into the mechanics of the creation and I'm into the mechanics of the creator. And that always stuck out to me, but I didn't know what it meant until now, because the creator, masculine energy, creates, put into action, the creation, to exist, to be, the feminine energy. And it was like, oh, lean into the energy of the creation, the earth, the things around us. So when she says like the way of being in existence, it's like the mundane things, the things that feel boring, like the way that you exist, like that's the mother. That's when you feel that mother presence, that kind of energy, when you're just existing, you know, being more present and stuff. And then it also says surrender control. And then it says listen to your inner mermaid and siren and fairy. And that's just because I have mermaid, siren energy and fairy energy. Like that's been coming up a lot for me. and that can resonate with you too, like the energy of like mermaids and stuff and sirens, because they're sovereign beings, and mermaids and sirens don't listen to nobody. They don't listen to nobody. They are sovereign in their own right. It's like all about the matriarchy, right? Like, and then they have their own frequency and stuff, and because of their frequency, like, oh my gosh, now this is making me, now I have to do a thing about mermaids. This is so cool, because this is not, oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, yeah, they have their own frequency, and you know, it attracts things to them, and I will do that in another video, because that's something else that I gotta tell y'all. There are so many things, and see, I was gonna get so down because I had just really been working on myself, and I disappear when I get like that, because I be liking to pop back out when like I feel better, and I don't be wanting to like, but it's okay, because I want to document this experience for myself, and like there's beauty in all of the emotions. This is tying into so many things that I just talked to her about, so this is great. And then fairy energy, like it gives like Tinkerbell. Like fairies are very mischievous, like fairies are very like cunning, like trickery and stuff like that. And that's not to say like I'm deceiving or anything, but it's like they're very playful, they're very like, they just be doing their own thing, they just be having a good time, okay? You know, so it's a lot of fun things to come, and I'm excited for this part of my journey, and I'm excited for you that are here, that is viewing this. And by you, I mean me, but I also mean you if you're watching and your soul family and this resonates. But I really mean me, because this is gonna be so cool for me to like look back on. Like, dang, I'm so glad I didn't give up. Like, I really, when I be going through stuff, I gotta stop isolating, because just me expressing my feelings is like, it's such a big thing. So much stuff comes out of me expressing myself, and I just think that I'm just sitting here talking, and it's just like, well, I'm just feeling, like, who actually cares? But I just feel like this could touch so many people. This is gonna help me find my people, and I'm just really trusting the magic. I'm really trusting Divine Mother to guide me there. I'm open to receiving. I'm open to finding community, connection, whatever it is. I'm open to the journey, one foot in front of the other. I'm scared, but we're gonna do it anyway. And I'm in control of my own life, because I told that shadow self that she had to sit in the back, and I told her she should take a nap, because you know what, she worked really hard. You know, I could be mad, like, dang, like, why you self-sabotaging, da-da-da-da, but really she was just trying to protect me, and like, that's valid, because we went through some really hard things, you know. So it's like, I could be mad, but it's like, girl, I feel where you coming from, because I was you, and you is me, and I was living there, but now we're going somewhere else. So like, sit in the back. I'm not gonna make you get out, because you're still a part of me, and I honor and I cherish and I understand why you say the things that you say and you feel the way that you feel. But also, let's work together. Let me drive now. Everybody else is in alignment. Everybody else is in agreement. Everybody else done calmed down. We done figured it out. Go take a nap. Go take a nap. Or I give her something else to do. Like, if we feel angry and you want to be mad at somebody, let's not swing on us. Yes, let's not crash the vehicle. Let's take the energy and this anger and this negativity, and let's turn it into something we can use, into fuel, into gas, so we can keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Let's put that in the tank. You could sit in the back and think about how we can come up with our own fuel, instead of how you finna crash the car. Because preferably, I would like to keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not backwards. And preferably not stopping, especially if we're driving in the middle of the night, because I'm a scaredy cat. I don't need to be stopping in the middle of nowhere. Don't stop in the middle of the magic, okay? Girl, give me this slipper. Give me these slippers. And so, on that note, if you're still here, thanks for coming to my, I was gonna say thanks for coming to my TED Talk, but yeah, thanks for being here. Thank you for witnessing me. Thank you for, you know, listening. I know this is kind of like really long, and I don't even know, again, I don't know what we're gonna call this. I don't know what this segment is. I'm just yapping. Yap sessions. Excuse me, revelations with Ren, you know, whatever it is. Excuse me, I don't know, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. And on that note, I love y'all. Y'all be safe.